Hello. I have to pull my stuff together. But this is Gail, and you are watching the beginning of a live stream that will probably go for, I don't know, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. So basically, what I've been doing is every Friday, I've been going live and writing, basically having a live writing session. And I've enjoyed it. We stream live to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. While we do this, I've been using something called Conversion.ai to help me come up with drafts and really streamline my writing process, which has been ridiculously amazing. So I've been kind of at a loss this morning as to like what I wanted to work on. I've been sort of wandering around in my head with that. So we're still going to wander around a little bit. I went back and forth as to whether or not I'd do Instagram captions or, all the other things. There's too many things that need done. So we're going to go back to a couple of drafts of blogs that I had been working on. I think I started them on Friday. No, Wednesday. Must have started them Wednesday. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I'm getting my stuff pulled together. I believe I was working in the co-working space. And we'll close that for right now. Opening my stuff up so I have it. So if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to ask questions and all of those lovely things. Oh, I guess I hadn't started drafts yet in a Google Doc. Okay, that'll explain some things. So, if you are, again, watching replays, feel free to do comments. If you're watching on Twitch on a replay, feel free to DM me on any of the platforms if you have questions. Okay, close that. Just sort of cleaning up my thing because you always end up with so many pieces. So tools I use when I do this, one thing I do is I always make sure I have my workspace cleared and where I want it to be. So I'll usually have my editorial calendar open. I have an Airtable, like 10,000 foot view or 30,000 foot view, however many feet you want to do. And then a Trello board. I have Conversion.ai open, and then usually I'll end up into Google Docs a little bit too. So I will have those open as well, which is why I had that open. And I like just to have everything open and clean before I actually share my screen. So we'll go that folder, open it here, and that'll take care of that. All right, so we're gonna go share screen. Yes, I know, thank you. This one. And then, wait for it. I made a new background, I'm very excited. I used the same galaxy thing, but I got my logo where I needed it to be. Oh. Trying to click buttons too fast. I should figure out a song to sing to you while I wait for things. I'm sure if you're watching this on the replay, this is super exciting. Isn't it fun? Watching this. Oh, it's cut off. Oh, I got so close. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh. Okay. Cool. So, all the details. They're important. Let's see. Comments. Just in case. Oh, son of a gun. There we go. Okay. So, we have what I was working on Wednesday um, with the fabulous Kat Johnson. If you're a co-working space owner or operator, she does epic things with content and has great trainings and a fabulous um, group program, not a program, group. Anyways, there's a fabulous cohort of people working with Kat Johnson to make sure their content keeps rolling, which was super fabulous. Okay, so I was working on. I could have sworn I started a second one. Anyways, so I was working on 6 reasons why you should quit working from home and get a co-working space. So I have, I don't know why it doesn't have the word count right now, but I think it was up to maybe 400 words. And I was at the part where I was either going to compose more, and I think I was using Power Mode, which I sincerely appreciate. If any of the guys from Conversion.ai ever watch these videos, I absolutely adore Power Mode. So the difference between full view, I think, focus mode, and Power Mode is that Power Mode gives you access to all of the content options, or not content options. What do they call it? Yeah, like the things that you can use to create content. So generally what I do for these headings is I will actually use the headlines, and this is super awesome. So I'll use the headlines and put it in there, generate the AI content. And I kind of just jumped straight into this because once that I got everything sorted, is that if you go back and watch previous videos, I usually explain everything. So I will explain this a little bit. The reason I like the blog post intro paragraph function is that it gives you a themed paragraph that you can then edit. So I always edit everything that Jarvis writes pretty much. Sometimes I don't, but for the most part, I will do I like that one? I got sidetracked. That's interesting. So those inputs were okay, or the outputs were okay, but I think my input could have been better. So when you're working with Jarvis, inputs are super important to get good outputs, especially if you have an idea of exactly kind of what you're looking for. Just know that if you have a very specific thing that you're looking for, you're super niche down on what's happening, that Jarvis isn't going to know exactly how to give you that output unless you give super great inputs. And even still, you're going to need to edit most of the time. Sometimes I don't ever have to edit, but for the most part, I edit everything mostly because I think it's important still to edit, so that it sounds like you or your client or whatever. So, because inevitably there's like one word or like some little piece that didn't quite fit, and it's jarring enough to the reader that it takes them out of where you want them to be, and they're like have to go back and read the sentence. And anytime that happens, they're much less likely to do what you want them to do from reading the content. So that is really why I continue to edit, even though Jarvis is super amazing. So I updated my input a little bit. Okay, I actually really like that first one. Yeah, I think I like the first one. So I'm going to go with that for now. And then paste that there. Okay, so... No, wait, don't do that. What's really great is like Control Z works inside Jarvis and pretty much everywhere else. Um, so working so even though for the heading, um, well, yeah, we're gonna update the heading. So working in a co-working space is cheaper. Yep. Okay. So generate. You just keep going and going and going. We're up to 556 words now. Most of them, like almost all of them, are good because I edited these other pieces already. Um, So I like number 2. Okay, so I think I like the first one. No, I like the second one, and I like the third one. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually take parts of each, if that is something I want to do. I don't necessarily want to have the numbers because everyone's from such different. That's not accurate for here where we live for the co-work. It probably is accurate for Pittsburgh, but I think I like this one better. Okay. So I'm going to go with paste as plain text. And this I'm definitely going to edit because like I don't want the last line because it's part of an existing blog post. Put that there. That gets us up to 653. I always try to aim for 600, like minimum, depending on what's happening in the post itself or what kind of content it is. Google likes, what's the sweet spot right now? I think the sweet spot right now is like 1,500 words or something, between what a person will actually read and what Google wants to see. So if you're working on that, that's where that is. Okay, so save time. I think I was working on this heading last time when I stopped. By working. So the thing that makes the difference in these inputs is that I'm being specific about, I'm putting save time on your commute and save your sanity. If I had left that as the input, the output would have been really generic. But when I say by working in a co-working space, Jarvis is going to spit out things that are closer to what I want, and it'll actually talk about co-working, and it'll include all of the reasons why it's important to do this. So the blog intro paragraph is good, for you, obviously for blog posts. If I want to go and make, what's the word I'm looking for? Instagram captions, I would use some of these same inputs that I'm using here, in the Bridge After Bridge framework, the AIDA framework, or the PAS framework. And those are really good that I've found so far for places like Instagram. They're probably good on LinkedIn. And yeah, so one of the things that I'm going to have to change is that, like, maybe I think it'll read okay. I definitely read this after I'm done working in Jarvis. I put it all into a Google Doc, and I go through and I edit. I'm not going to use that one. I tend not to use, at least for this particular brand, I tend not to use ones that have the personal stories in them unless it's something that's actually in line with the brand. I kind of like the third one. I like the first one, I think, for this. I'm going to delete that. And Jarvis, surprisingly, is pretty good grammatically. I'm always surprised. This I thought was a funny reason of how why this is important. Make your boss happy because they don't working a cowork. See what happens. Makes your boss happy. They don't have to manage. Let's see if there's enough space to manage you. Ooh, almost. Just about. Let's see. See what Jarvis says. Meh. 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 I'm not really sure I like any of this. So I know by now that if I don't like any of the outputs that Jarvis gives me, usually it's my input. So I usually run another one, and I have the pro plan, so I don't care how many words I run. I know I start reading and then I stop talking. Can't do both. Oh, that would have been a good one, maybe. That's interesting. So that's a little closer. Working in a cowork means, let's see. I think if we do working in a co-working space means, what it be? Means being productive without being micro managed. Spell without correctly. That would help. Reading Slack messages while Jarvis thinks. That's what that was. Yeah. So the second one, I don't like the tone of it, so I'm not going to use that. And I'm not going to use that one. But I feel like this one is close. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put that there. I like this. But like this is kind of fun and snarky. Except like I've always worked and not screwed around, so personally I'm like, I do like this one. And I don't like this at all. So I will go through and edit this, but I want to skip down to the blog conclusion paragraph. And so I was using this for a different thing. Our call to action is Let's see. What would our call to action be? Is join. I think it's a ready to join. Yes. Connect. Excuse me. Connect work on main. Click here to get started. And the main points of the blog, usually I'll go to my settings in here because we have the content description and we have this, and our 6 points are here. It's mostly this. I changed the things a little bit, but we're here. Oh, I lost my doohickeys. Okay. So that, and then this. Oop, save time. Isolating and lonely. Okay, we'll save time. 6, not be micro managed, but still be productive. Okay. So period there. Periods are really important with Jarvis. I know I've said that in other videos, but it's helps him understand that that's the end of the thought, and he'll read it as the end of the thought. Otherwise, it ends up he'll read things as like a one continuous sentence, and you don't realize it's happening until you've spent a cajillion hours and you can't figure out why the outputs aren't working. So now I have to remember what this was. So ready to join, click. No, ready to join. Join a join click. 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 Come on, Gail. Click to get started. Okay. We're going to go like that. And we're going to hit generate. So what we just learned from that exercise is that if you don't hit generate, it won't save your inputs. So always make sure you copy paste things if you're going to move in between things before you generate. Oh, I like it. Okay, so I'm actually really digging the first one. This one's not bad. I like this one. Working from home. From home, your car. Work, truck, or coffee shop. Isolating, lonely, and expensive. So the closing paragraphs usually are like a summary of everything, and it ties it all together. So I like to make sure I include some of the keywords I used in the rest of the article so that you'll find yourself in it. So for a heading for this, I usually end up doing like what next. So actually, let's use this as a good, oh my goodness, a case study example. Okay, wow, that was really hard. So for company product name, I'm going to use WeWork. I don't like them, but but I happen to know that they have a lot of articles already out. So they'll have a lot of things. So I put in our blog post title, I put in WeWork, and then the blog post description. I'm going to use what I wrote before, which was article. There we go. And then what is our keyword? Co-working space. And join and get a co-working space. So co-working space. Which is probably honestly a terrible word to try to, I'm not necessarily trying to rank for it. I just want to make sure I include the keyword. So see what Jarvis says. Now this is the title and meta descriptions for a blog post, which is super awesome. Oof. Yes, please. I like that. Okay, but I'm not doing digital marketing and analytics. I'm gonna do co-working spaces, keyword, and we're not gonna do any of this. Yep, awesome. Okay, so copy, and we're gonna go to the top of this and put that here so that when I copy paste into the Google Doc, it's all ready to go. So that is us. We are actually, I was curious to see where we're at. We're just shy of 900 words, which totally works for me. And it'll be, the final word count will be a little different. But the next steps that I'm not going to show on video is that I'll copy paste this document from here and put it into, oh, wait, see, I totally got sidetracked. I was going to try and come up with a headline right here. So let's see, where are Pinterest pin, video titles, topic ideas? What can we use for that? Let's try, usually I put next steps or like, what should your next steps be, or what are your next steps? Where do you want to work? And then I'm going to try putting this into the content improver. And basically this just like makes it, sometimes I'll make it better. It's a super small thing, so I don't know what Jarvis will actually do with it. This this one isn't my favorite. See, Jarvis is like, is this a trick question? Trick question. That's awesome. Thanks, Jarvis. I appreciate you. I'm actually screenshotting that. That's super funny. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna leave it as where do you want to work. I've put my heading in, so everything's formatted. I will be going through and editing, like I said, and I'm good with it. So thanks for watching this video. I sincerely appreciate you. And I hope that you learned some things about Jarvis and some of the different functionality. And, you know, I feel like some of the other videos were a little better, so that's okay. Feel free to go back and check out some of the other ones. This should be a part of a playlist, and there'll be some other videos that are about Jarvis. And yeah, if you're watching the replay, feel free to throw things in the comments. I will circle back and answer things. If you are watching on Twitch on a replay, head over to YouTube or Facebook and comment there. So with that, I hope you have an incredible, incredible day, and I'll see you on the next video.